as an actor to be on that set and to see Golda and James Fleet, who plays older King George, or Regency era King George, should I say, to see kind of the transition from where myself and Corey had created this connection, and then to see it kind of happening years on was so otherworldly and completely out of body. Not only were we watching them, like, you know, and looking at their craft and them as actors and how they have turned this script and their own ideas about how it should be, you know, performed basically at the end, was so loaded with time and history and consideration that our, you know, I go like this because I'm like, Corey's to my left right here, but people probably won't be able to see that. But our Queen George, Queen George, wow, King George. There we go. That
Queen George, yeah, Queen George and King Charles.
I love it. There you go. We finally figured that out.
Yeah.
That's what we were missing. But yeah, it was just beautiful. And it made me kind of go, okay, I feel like we've done a good job in giving these characters their foundations. And it was very all encompassing. And yeah, watching it as well back was the moment where I was like, oh guys, you got me. I was a bit of a wreck. But I think it was also a lot of nostalgia for the show, just filming it and thinking back to what a wonderful time we had, and you know, sitting in these characters and really loving these people that we'd created. It was it's a very, very special scene for a lot of reasons.
It's all Tom Verica. It's all Tom Verica.
Oh, it was
that scene. If my memory serves me right, is a older Charlotte and George's scene, right? Yeah. And Tom was like, "I'm going to get India and Corey to learn that scene as well." Yeah. And it's his entire vision of bringing us four together to create that last moment. Mm-hmm. And it was so moving and so interesting and so full of play for the four of us. I mean, literally, James and I are under a bed, and then you get this little shout from the other room, get India, Golda, you come out, India, you go in. And like, you know, I'm shuffling out the bed, India's shuffling back in the bed. And then they do, you know, James and India are doing the scene together. And it was just a really beautiful, amazing moment, I think, for all of us as actors, working with an incredible director who just has the most amazing, incredible mind and vision for this show, you know? And it was a true honor and privilege to film that.
I can just speak to that because it was, I mean, thank you, Golda, but it is the performance you brought, the world, everything is on your shoulders, the journey that we've been following with young Charlotte. And as India said, seeing that and trying to bridge that was surreal, and it was magical. I think we all felt that in the moment. But I remember, you know, Shonda wrote in there that we see flashes of younger George and younger Charlotte.
Yeah, okay.
We weren't really quite, we kind of talked about what that meant and what that was. So that gave the spark. And then I pulled India and Corey aside and said, guys, I want you to learn this scene. I said, I want to have you do it together, but I also I'm gonna interchange, and it might be weird. It might be kind of, you're suddenly with the older version. I said, but it's really going to put us in the world of what each character is seeing in the other when they're saying particular lines. And some of them I knew that it wouldn't probably work and be right, but that continuity of having you be in there, the moments that land are freaking powerful. And it's a testament to you guys really kind of going along for that ride. And I think that sort of that leaping into that is really what gave that scene that is just absolutely powerful. And I remember my first watch in the editor's cut, and I was sitting in my office and I was destroyed. I was like, holy shit.
Oh, it's one of the most, I mean, people can tell you, like, I've seen a lot of stuff, and I'm not an easy crier. And every single time I watch that, which has been a lot, I cry because somehow or another, this entire journey is worth it. You know, it's what you say with these incredible performances, and the way you staged it is you get through it, and there's so much you take in over the course of the 6 episodes, and there's so much pain and there's also joy and, you know, fun, but it's all worth it. And it makes it relatable because it's two people under a bed, you know, it's like, what could be simpler than that? But
That's
it's
Shonda Rhimes too. I mean, under a bed. It was
Yeah.
like, it certainly posed technical challenges.
It
We were
turns
like,
out she
what?
can write.
How are we
I
going to
know.
like these actors under a bed?
But the timing of it as well, I think, was really the filming of it was really interesting. I think if we'd filmed it right at the beginning, we wouldn't have all been at the same point in time. You know, I thought it was really great to have Corey and India have gone through that journey of filming these two characters to kind of come up to where James and I were at, you know what I mean? So the four of us were like completely together and locked into that scene because of the timing of actually filming it.
Well, and what I love that, you know, when Sean was talking about this, Betsy, you'll remember there was a lot of discussion about, is it going to be over? Are we going over 10 years? Is there going to be different Charlottes? And you really don't want that, because we said where we finished with young Charlotte and young George, they're setting out on their journey and there is not much time. I mean, you know, where Golda's Charlotte is right now, that commitment is there. We see that commitment happen early on, and here they are. And it's like time has not moved at all. And that commitment, and obviously he's spiraled and spun into a much more difficult state, but that commitment to one another. And then when he opens back up again, they're right there. They're right where they were. And that's the beauty of the script.